Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Can you hear me? Please confirm in the chat box. Thank you very much for your responses. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ankur. Thank you very much. Okay. This is a plan for today's session. This session is all about security aspects in Jenkins. We learn how to create a new user. Why should we create new user in Jenkins? There are two types of roles, global roles and item roles. We'll discuss about the roles, and then we'll also discuss about role-based authorization strategy plugin and what is the purpose of that particular plugin. So this is a plan. This is a plan for our today's session. As usual, before getting into the concept, let's have a quick interaction. Kumar.
Sunil, good evening.
Good evening, Kumar. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Yes. How is your learning experience in DevOps? Is it difficult or easy, frankly speaking?
It's quite cool. Means day to day I'm learning more about understanding new
DevOps.
things. Yeah, about the DevOps and
very good. Okay, day by day you are upgrading. Yeah.
And I keep coping with the sessions that I am. So regarding
Perfect.
that,
Very good.
3 doubts. So
yes.
Yeah, the first one is about since we had deployed for first station and we got some changes. And in that
your question is once the application is deployed and delivered, that means once all the 5 stages has been completed, and again developer has done some changes because let's say client needs some modifications in the application. How do you tackle it?
Yeah, and at that point in time we get fail. So since all the instances are interconnected through Jenkins.
Yes.
Is the artifact is moving to production means since all are interconnected. When I click on development in the development instance, then the artifact will generate in testing phase, move to copy to testing phase, and then to production phase. So is there any chance that it will copy to production phase also?
What is stage 5? Stage 5 is delivering to production, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Then only it is called delivery.
Yeah, but we got some
changes.
Error. Yeah, we got some changes, and
changes. You have to wait. How to handle changes? We'll understand it soon.
Okay. And yeah, two things. Yeah, I means about. I practiced and the machine got stopped. I stopped the machine, and next time I'm seeing the as I seen the private address got changed. So do I need to update all the Jenkins the path that we are given?
If the private IP address has got changed, you have to change it accordingly. You have no other option. Okay.
Okay, and and the third one, last one.
Yes.
I'm considering. Can we have real-time scenario where I just want to know that for each job we have to create all the 3 instances? Like a developer means a DevOps person will handle multiple jobs, right? So for every
no, 1 minute. This will be specific to one client, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Instances will be Kumar. Let's say this is dev. This is test. This is production.
Yeah.
For one specific client, agree?
Okay.
Okay. If there's a different client, you have different set of 3 instances. Agree?
Okay.
Okay. This is specific to one particular client.
Okay.
If you're handling multiple clients, you have to create multiple jobs. There will be multiple Jenkins servers.
So in that case, if for a client we have, if we have multiple projects, then also this will be applicable. for
Yes.
each project? We have to
Yes,
click-
you are right. Okay.
Okay. Understood.
Okay. Wakar. Good evening.
Sir, good evening. Good evening, sir. How is it?
Doing well, Wakar. How are you doing?
Good, good, sir. Sir, I'm a little bit confused in QA server.
Okay.
Basically, as of now, I understand that QA server is only responsible that artifact will be deployed to QA server. Then the script that we have in the dev instance.
Sorry. Then
The script, test script that we
no,
have.
1 minute. Yes. First, the stage 1, the code gets downloaded,
Yes, sir. Artifact
built, and then you deploy it into the QA.
QA server.
Yes. Now, yeah. Please continue your question.
Now our project is up, right? Up and running
In the QA environment.
in a QA environment.
Yes, you are
So
right.
now we run test script from dev server to QA, right? To test the artifact.
Not from to. Scripts gets executed.
Yeah.
Scripts gets executed even though scripts are downloaded in the dev instance, but they get executed on the QA
A
instance.
QA instance from the private IP.
Using the
by
private
using
IPs,
private
the
IP.
scripts will be communicating to the QA instance and they will be executed on the QA instance. Okay.
Okay. The same artifact that we have deployed in QA instance will be delivered to production instance.
You are right.
Right.
You are right.
So only responsibility of QA instance to
Test.
test.
That's it. That is the reason we have created a QA instance to
Okay.
perform testing. That's the main reason behind QA.
Sir, can you a little bit make a clear concept between how tester, run the test script in QA instance?
We don't need to worry, Azam. Okay.
Okay,
It's
sir.
purely dependent on the tools what they are using. Okay.
Okay.
No,
Sir.
don't worry about that. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Girish. Good evening.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, Girish. How are you?
Fine, sir. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Yes, your question.
I have a little question. After stage 3, after deploying the var file in Q instance, I got output of hello world. That is okay. But after some time, the Jenkins tab is showing a site can be reached.
Sorry. After?
Uh, uh, After deploying the var file in Q instance, right?
That
We
is
got
after
output
stage
of
3.
stage 3. Yes, yes. After
We got
stage
an
3.
output. We got a
Hello world.
application running, a hello world
Yes,
application running.
yes,
Fine.
yes, yes, yes.
Next.
It's fine, it's running. But after some time in Jenkins tab, I got an
Jenkins?
error. Jenkins tab,
Dashboard.
yeah, the Jenkins dashboard. I got an error. Site can be reached. Site can be reached. I don't know why.
Maybe the Jenkins was not running at probably that particular time. Okay. There was a connection
Okay,
timeout issues probably.
okay,
Okay. That's not a problem. Okay.
okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Please rerun the Jenkins in that case, Girish. Okay. That's not a problem. Okay. Santosh.
Hi, Sunil. I have a couple of questions.
Yep.
While we running the job, example dev instance, a testing related job, and if the paths did not match,
If the
paths did not match,
what do you mean by path?
if it's a path failure error, so who
1
needs
minute,
to
1 minute, 1 minute. You're referring to which path? 1 minute.
example dev instance initially?
Okay. You're talking about this particular path on which it is running the QA instance?
No, not this path. It's
Okay.
a job path which I'm speaking about, the pipeline.
Job path. Okay, let me log into dashboard. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Santosh, which path you are referring to?
While running example testing,
Okay. Okay, so where do you get the path?
and we get a failure error as the paths did not match in Jenkins.
Did you get that error?
Yes, I got the error in a real time in my project. So that's
Okay.
the reason I want to
Okay.
relate how we can able to fix this, whether it is a DevOps job or it's a developer job to fix this.
Okay. It depends upon. Send me that console log file screenshot to my WhatsApp. Okay.
Okay,
I will
I
check
will.
it. Okay. Okay. It's
Okay,
not specific to our examples, right? It's specific to your example, Santosh, isn't it? So send me that screenshot so that because by looking at that error, we can figure it out. Is a problem? We need to understand the problem and accordingly we will do that. Okay.
okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, Anuj. Your question, please.
Sunil, thank you for giving an opportunity. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we can hear it.
So the question is, we deployed, the code is deployed, packaged, and we deployed it on the QA instance from the dev instance via container, and it is running good. Then testing team came in place and they deployed testing scripts. We have one more job and testing is done. When testing is successful, testing script copied the artifact from the development directory to the testing directory.
Testing scripts has been not copied. The responsibility of the testing scripts is to just test the application. That's all.
But once the testing script runs, it copies the artifact from the test development directory to itself on the testing directory on the dev instance. I checked that on the server.
Sorry. No, I'm. When the testing scripts executed, you're saying that the artifact will be copied.
Artifact copied, yeah, artifact copied from development directory to the testing one.
From?
On the testing directory. Let me more clear.
1 minute. This is the job name. The name of the job is what?
Testing.
Testing. Do you remember when testing is, when the second job is moving the artifact into the production, artifact is not part of development job.
Right.
The testing job is copying the artifact from the development job. That's the reason you got a message artifact copied from job 1 to job 2.
Right.
Yes.
This is what I'm saying. But now that's why I'm saying the artifacts are copied from the development directory in the Jenkins to the testing directory. I've seen that.
Yes, you are
already
right.
on the
Yes,
server.
that's
Now,
that is the
here-
reason your A testing job is able to deploy.
Right.
Not the testing
Here-
scripts.
Here is a question.
Testing scripts will not be
Right.
copied.
I'm
Testing
sorry.
job
I'm
will be
got
copied.
confused. Testing job.
Testing
Here
scripts will
question-
only perform the testing. That's it.
Here question lies. Once we deploy it on the production via container,
Not via
Where-
container. It's not
Okay.
via container. Container
On
is
container.
Tomcat.
Tomcat, right?
It's not via Tomcat. It will be to Tomcat.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct,
Yes.
correct. But now the actual code still resides in dev. What happened for the cutover when I just completely want to give it to the production?
No. 1 minute. Now the application moved into delivery, right?
Delivery, right?
Okay. Now your question is related to code.
Final delivery, yes.
Your
code is
question is related to code.
Code, right? My
Yes,
code
now
is
your
still in dev.
Nobody wants code. If development
Hmm.
team wants, if the client wants code, we don't need
Hmm.
Jenkins at all. Client does not need code. If the client needs code, that's okay. We can provide them the cloud using the storage. Using the storage, we can provide them the cloud in that
Right,
code
right.
providing is not at all a big deal. It's
Right.
application delivery is most important. Okay. If the client wants code, okay, we can deliver the code in different options. That's different way of
The
delivery.
actual question lies here. If
Hmm.
the code is still there in the dev server, residing in that particular instance, dev instance, let me call it.
Yes.
And until dev instance is up and running, prod will be up and running. The moment dev goes down, the production
All the
will go
three
down.
instances will be up and running.
Is there
At
not
any
any
point of
cutover?
time, all the three instances will be up and running. At any point of time, all the three
Hmm.
instances will be
Up and running.
up and running because it is continuous delivery and continuous deployment. We have not justified the word continuous till
Okay.
now, isn't it, Anuj?
Okay. Right.
We are understanding download, we are understanding build, we are understanding deployment, we are understanding testing, and we are understanding what is delivery.
Delivery.
But did we
right.
focus on why are we prefixing the word continuous in each and every stage?
Right.
We have
right.
not
Got
done
it.
that. So you have to
I
wait
got it.
because it is a
Got-
cycle. If it is to be a continuous automation, then the infrastructure should be up and running. Okay,
True.
right? So
Okay.
we have not
No,
yet.
actually, it was a question that whatever in cutover situation that, okay, now I am done with dev and this is code is
Mhm.
freezed and I want it 100% with prod. Then it will be copied.
You want the code to be copied? No.
In case,
You have to wait because to answer your question, you have to wait for justification of the word called continuous before each and every stage. So you have to wait. Okay.
okay.
Let's move on. How are we logging with Jenkins? Let me log out. How do we log in using Jenkins? We are logging in using the username. Admin, the password is also admin. Fine. When did we create this admin user? When did we create the admin user? Admin was the first user which we have created at the time of installation. The first user, I hope you remember. The username was admin, the password was admin. Using that, we have logged into Jenkins. That's fine. We'll also learn how can we create new user in Jenkins. Not only admin, we can create multiple users in Jenkins. We can create multiple users in Jenkins. First, let's learn how can we create new users in Jenkins. You are logging in with admin user. We can also log in with any other users. Point one, let's learn how can we create new users in Jenkins. Before that, why should we create users in Jenkins? We can create new users. Okay, we'll learn how can we create new users in Jenkins. That's fine. Why should we create users in Jenkins? First point, please do not be under impression that as a DevOps engineer, only we will have access to Jenkins dashboard. It's not the case. Development team will have access to Jenkins dashboard also. Testing team will have access to Jenkins dashboard also. Operations team can also have access to Jenkins dashboard. There will be several cases where the development team and the testing team will be wanting the access to Jenkins dashboard. When a job is getting executed, development team wants to monitor that particular job. They want to look at the log messages of that particular job. They want to, sometimes they want themselves to create a new jobs. There are many cases the other users also wants to have access to Jenkins. So in such cases, how can we create new users in Jenkins? Let's experience. First, why should we create new users? Understand. Development job, development team, testing team will also want to have their access to Jenkins. So that's the reason first to satisfy them, we'll be also creating new users in Jenkins and provide them those credentials to the development team as well as testing team. Clear? So let's learn how can we create new users in Jenkins. I want to create 2 new users. Ravi is a username. The password also I want to have same name. Lata is one username and the password is also Lata. This is what I want. Create new users. Ravi is one user, the password is Ravi. The Lata is one more user, the password is Lata. Let's learn how to create new users. Manage Jenkins. Manage users. You can see you have one user only, admin. And here we have an option of creating a new user. Okay. So let's create new users. So the username as planned is Ravi. The password is also Ravi. Confirm password Ravi. Full name also I'm writing it as Ravi. And this is the Gmail address. It does not need any validation. I have created a user. Got it? I want to create one more new user. Done, Anuj. As planned, we have learned how to create new users in Jenkins, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah, right.
Now I want to test whether this new user Ravi and Lata are they working fine or not. So I log out of Jenkins, Anuj,
Right.
and I log in with the new user what we have created. The new user what we have created is Ravi, and the password is also Ravi. So let's experience this new user. Is the new user working successfully, Anuj?
Yes.
In the same way, obviously, the second user Lata will also work. Agree?
Correct. Correct.
So we now know how to create new users and then how to, and it's very simple to create new users, and the new user will also have access to Jenkins
Jenkins
dashboard.
dashboard.
Point 1, assume Ravi is from the development team. Assume Lata is from
Testing.
testing team. When a development team Ravi logs into Jenkins dashboard, assume Ravi is a developer, he logs into Jenkins dashboard. Most important point, he is having manage Jenkins, Anuj.
Right.
Using manage Jenkins, what he can do, he can also create new users.
Right.
He can install plugins, he can uninstall plugins, he can delete jobs, he can delete jobs. He has by default full control over Jenkins.
Correct.
Agree?
Right.
So I don't want full access to these new users. I want to have provided restricted access. Got it? I don't want him to provide a full access. We want to provide, as a DevOps engineer, we should have full access to Jenkins control. We'll have full control over Jenkins, not the other users. Ravi is a developer. He should not have manage Jenkins option.
Right.
We don't want him to provide manage Jenkins. At the same time, as you can see, there are 2 jobs in the dashboard. The name of the job is development. The name of the job is testing. Fine. Development team should only have access to their particular jobs. They should not have access to testing related jobs.
Correct.
If a tester logs in, they will have only, they should have access to testing related job. They should not have access to development related
Development
job. Visualize Jenkins.
Right.
Here our Jenkins dashboard is having 2 jobs. Visualize a Jenkins dashboard which is having some 15 to 20 jobs.
Correct.
When a developer logs in, he should not have access to full jobs, all the jobs. They should have access to their jobs related to that specific client. When tester logs in, they'll have access to only their particular jobs. How can we provide rest? This is called restricted access, Anuj.
Right.
How can we provide restricted access? What is the default option? The default option is full access.
Full access.
That means by default, every user is equal to admin user. He has full
Admin
access
user.
to Jenkins.
Correct.
We don't want such kind of access. We want to provide a restricted access to Jenkins. How can we provide restricted access to Jenkins? By using a plugin called as role-based authorization strategy plugin. Role-based authorization. We'll create users and then we provide them authorization based on the roles. Got it? So we need a plugin. This can be, how can we provide a restricted access to Jenkins? Can be possible by using an additional plugin called as role-based authorization strategy plugin. So what I do, now log in with the admin user. Manage Jenkins, and you already know how to install plugins. I'm installing a plugin called as role-based authorization strategy. Install without restart. Hello?
Hello.
Next automation task we need to reduce the raw cost of Google. Next task is Google Drive Excel automatically done. 1 minute. Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
1 minute. There's a network failure at my location. 1 minute, please.
No problem. Good. तैयार हो जाए. रेनी वी हैव टू बी क्विक, मैं तैयार हो रहा हूँ, पूरा पर आ जाओ ना ढोल मजीद के साथ।
I'm back. Thank you, Anuj.
वेलकम सुनील, नो प्रॉब्लम।
Okay, so role-based authorization strategy plugin has been installed. And then you need to change some security options. Manage Jenkins. Configure global security. What is the default option, Anuj?
Admin,
No, logged in users can do anything.
anything, right? Admin,
That means that Ravi, the new users can do anything. We don't want this. We
right?
want to select this role-based authorization strategy. Okay. So you have to select
Correct.
this role-based authorization. So I have changed the authorization option. Okay. And then apply, save. Fine. Next. There are two types of roles in Jenkins. There are two types of roles in Jenkins. Global role, item role.
Okay.
I will be creating a new role. The name of the role is employee. This is a role name. And I'll be creating this new role or under global roles. There are two types of roles. Employee is a global role.
Global role.
So first, let's create the global role. Under manage Jenkins, manage and assign roles, manage roles. We have global role, Anuj, and we have item role below. Okay.
Item roles.
By
Right.
default, there's a global role called admin. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. I'm creating one more global role to add. Here, mention the role name which you're planning to add. I have added a new role. The name of the new role is
Employee.
employee. In overall, I am providing read access. Under overall, I am providing read access. In view section, I am providing all the access. In view, we have configure, create, delete, read. Okay. So that means I am not providing all the permissions. Anuj, I hope you understood. I'm providing restricted permissions to which role? Employee.
Employee, but employee is a global role, right?
Employee is a global role. You're right. Okay.
And what is in that view position? View means he can modify
He can
things?
view the jobs and modify the jobs. What he can view. He
Okay,
has no control on jobs which he cannot view. Okay. So that's
Perfect.
about the global role. Coming to item role, right now, there by default, there are no item roles. Very important point you need to keep in mind. We need to keep in mind item roles will have a pattern. I'll be creating two item roles. The name of the item roles are, one role is developer. The name of the second role is tester. And I will also attach a pattern as dev.star. I'll attach a pattern test.star. Item roles will have a pattern associated with it. What is the name of the role I'm planning to create? Anuj, developer is the name of the role I'm planning to create. What is the pattern I want to associate with this? Dev.star.
Dev.star.
Let's complete that role. Role to add. Developer. What is the pattern you want to associate for that role?
Dev.star.
Role is added. What is the second role you want to create? Tester.
Tester.
What is the pattern you want to add? Test.star.
Test.star.
Roles are added.
Right.
Give all permissions to developer role and tester role. Let's create all the permissions. Done. Right?
Right.
So I have created roles. One global role I have created, Anuj, employee.
Right.
Two item roles I have been created. Okay.
Correct.
Next, once the roles have been created, we'll be assigning roles to the users. Ravi is a developer. Okay. Ravi is a developer. Lata is a tester. First point, assign roles. Manage roles is all about creating the roles, providing the permissions at the role level. Assign
Correct.
roles is all about assigning roles to the users.
Users.
Assign role. User to add. We have created two users, Ravi and Lata.
Lata.
Both I want to assign it as employee role. Okay, both I have assigned the
Employee role.
employee role. Role of the name is employee. Next, users to add. Again, we have two users. One is Ravi. The other one is
Lata.
Lata. According to our assumption, Ravi is a developer, right?
Right.
This is the role names which we have created. It automatically gets
Ah.
uploaded in team. Ravi is a
True.
developer. And
Developer.
Lata is a
Tester.
apply. Save. Okay. And then restart the Jenkins. This is how to restart the Jenkins. You have the public IP.
Okay, so we don't have to go and run that file.zar
No,
again.
no. URL. Slash.
Restart.
Are you sure you want to restart Jenkins?
Can start will be work? Start works?
Start
no,
will work,
start.
stop will work. You can stop and you can start, you can restart.
Because what we have seen that in last few labs, the Jenkins stop responding and we need to go and run that
Try
Java
this start
space
URL.
jar. Okay. Perfect. We keep running that again and again.
Let's wait for the Jenkins to get restarted. You can also see the background messages as disconnected.
So meanwhile, it comes. I have observed that all these instances we have modified the timeout value and everything in our instances. But thing is that they get timeout very soon. Is there a
With a
network
very
issue?
soon is nothing but a frequency every 5 minutes or something like that.
Right, but we have increased the timeout value and everything, but still it is happening. I don't know it is a network issue or something we need to do on the cloud end.
Okay. 1 minute. Let me log in admin and admin. This is the main user.
Correct.
We'll have full access, no doubt on that. Manage Jenkins, and then we are able to see list of all the jobs. We are able to list out all the jobs in the dashboard. Let me log in with the new user, Ravi. Ravi, as per our assumption, Ravi is a developer. So Ravi should able to see jobs related to development team only.
Development.
He's able to see only one job. He's not able to see testing related jobs. So what is making that filtering option the pattern? So look at this. The job name is filtered based on the pattern. So as a DevOps engineer, we'll be providing instructions to the development team. In case if you're creating any new jobs, follow this pattern. Right. So they should create the jobs which is starting with DEV. And we also instruct the testing team. In case if they want to create jobs, we can instruct them to start the job with the name test. In case if you are not following our instructions, obviously they cannot see the jobs what they have created. And then let's Lata login. She should see testing related jobs. And one more important observation, Anuj. Both of them are not having manage Jenkins option. That means they cannot create new users and they cannot install plugins. They cannot uninstall plugins. They cannot disturb the configurations. So which role is filtering at the job level? Which role is filtering the options at the dashboard level?
The job level, it's filtering that dev and testing, and
so item role is filtering the number of jobs that should be visible. Okay. And global role is filtering the options which are there in the left hand side. Okay. Clear? So that's how we are in a position to provide a restricted access to Jenkins by creating roles and assigning. If that not if most of the time development team will also have one access to Jenkins. Okay, Anuj. Testing team will also have one access to Jenkins. Any other team may have can demand access to Jenkins. Clients wants to have Jenkins access. They don't, even though they want automation, but they want to know what exactly our team, DevOps team is doing. Okay, if the client wants to have access to Jenkins, but you cannot take chances of giving full permissions to the client. Right. So whoever needs access to Jenkins, you are in a position to create users and then provide restricted actions. All this is possible using the role-based authorization strategy plugin.
Correct. Question, Sunil.
Yep.
When one job is triggering another, so development job is triggering the testing we have seen in the last example.
Yes.
And here the developer is triggering the testing one.
Sorry? They cannot see the second job which is getting triggered. They need to look at the final result. Okay.
Right. But it can trigger, right? That's what I'm saying.
That doesn't, the functionality does not get affected. It's only about filtering. Right?
Filtering. True one. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Poonam Sharma.
Yeah, hi Sunil, good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing good. One question, like previously one of the participant asked us that if we are having multiple projects, so one project we will be having these three instances, right?
Yes.
The dev and QA and prod. Then when we are installing Jenkins on the dev instance, we are creating one username and password.
1 minute, 1 minute. Dev, QA, production for one specific client. Agree?
Yeah.
Yes. Now your question.
And we are
installing Jenkins on the dev.
Dev, right? And we generate a username and password.
That's what we have done it today. You're talking about the user which you have created.
And no, not the username. When the first time we are installing the Jenkins, the admin username.
Yeah, that we create the first user.
So like for the different project, we will be having.
When it is a different project, there will be different set of instances.
Yes, and so different admin.
So one more different Jenkins server. Okay. This is a different URL. Everyone will have their own specific
Okay.
Jenkins missions. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
clear, Poonam?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
clear.
why I changed the diagram. Okay, yeah, thank you. Neelakanda.
Hi, sir. Good evening. This is Rajagopal.
Yeah, Rajagopal.
Sir, in case user they forget the password, a reset option is there?
You're talking about the admin password?
Not admin, but user
The
password.
new user password.
Yeah.
New user password, right?
Yeah.
You can change the password. As an admin user, you can change the password. No problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Okay. Thank you.
Ashwant Dara.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Regarding this authentication, can we integrate any third-party authentication? What we use?
Sorry, recording. Sorry, I cannot hear you.
Okay. Regarding authentication of users, can we use any third-party authentication?
No. Jenkins is not as of now. It's not supporting any third-party user authentication, unlike AWS. Okay, so it just needs a username and password, like an email. That's all.
Okay.
Ashwant.
I mean, if suppose in the real time we have only one password which can access Bitbucket, Jira, and Jenkins, everything, right? In that case, we use our own domain password to log into Jira. We don't have any specific credentials for Jenkins.
No, as of now. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Revuri Ramesh.
Hi, Sunil.
Hi,
Rajesh here.
Rajesh. Yeah, Rajesh, sir.
I remember our company uses both Jenkins and Bamboo. Bamboo also have the same options as like the Jenkins here.
Something similar. Both are very similar to each other.
Okay. Because I see.
Have you used Bamboo?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. Are you able to relate some whatever the concepts which we are working here?
I can relate little because I'm from the QA background. I think
Okay.
most of the time in the
If you
backend
learn
testing.
Jenkins, you can learn Bamboo by yourself. Very simple.
Because I see some restrictions in Bamboo where actually some Python, old Python will not work out. They were telling actually.
Bamboo is based on Python technology, but Jenkins is based on Java. Okay.
Okay.
Base technology changes.
Thanks, Sunil.
Santosh Dasari.
Hi, Sunil. Does
Yep.
the Jenkins and Circle CI is both different or?
Those are examples of CI/CD tools. Bamboo, Circle CI, Jenkins. Whatever Jenkins can perform can also be done by using Circle CI. Okay. Both are independent, standalone, open source CI/CD tools. Okay.
Okay, and we are currently using Circle CI.
Who you are
And,
using current Circle CI?
Yeah, our company is
Okay.
using Circle.
Okay.
And in Jenkins and GitHub, we don't have any single sign-on.
No. In GitHub, you have single sign-on option. You need to enable it. Okay.
Okay, once we enable the single sign-on on GitHub, and also it works on the Jenkins.
You need to install single sign-on plugin in Jenkins exclusively. Okay. GitHub
Okay.
single sign-on. That's an additional plugin. When you install additional plugin, both gets integrated. Okay.
Okay, I think GitHub, Circle CI, Jira, and all are the more related tools where there is a single sign-on option is available.
Yes, you are option.
So,
But that by
company
default will not
users-
be available in Jenkins.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So that's it for today's session. So we have understood how exactly we can create multiple users and we can provide a field restricted actions to Jenkins dashboard. And at the same time, you'll as a DevOps engineer, you'll have full access to the Jenkins dashboard. Okay. The next plan is to understand the master slave configuration in Jenkins, which is very, very important. As you know, we will not have session on Saturday, Sunday. The next session is on Monday. where we learn about master slave configuration in Jenkins. Okay. Meanwhile, I have invited a project leader from a reputed company. He is providing a DevOps and AWS project explanation tomorrow at morning 6:30. You get the updates in the WhatsApp group. Register using the Zoom link so that you can have a look at the project session. Okay. Thank you all, and have a nice weekend. Bye, everybody.